Hey guys, I'm back for day 3 of Steam Next Fest with another 4 VR game demos I've reviewed. I originally was planning on reviewing all 24 games at the festival under the VR tag, but it's come to light that 2 of the games simply are not VR games and are mislabeled, and otherwise I've been having issues getting some of the games to run or play. Hopefully these developers can figure out the issues that are causing their games to be unplayable, and I'll be able to give you an opinion by the end of the festival. That said, like, subscribe, and get ready for another 4 quick and easy reviews. Cyber Defense 2088 is a stylized take on the tower defense genre. While it presents some interesting ideas, the presentation and feel of the game are very poor, and the transition between levels left me nauseous enough I had to lay down for a while to recover before trying more demos today. I couldn't even get to a point where placing a tower was possible or made sense, as the enemies could simply be killed with one hit by my pistol, and the game made me too nauseous to persist to harder difficulties. Taking control away from a player to move the camera in VR is a sure way to add to nausea and to destroy immersion in a game. And in the case of Cyber Defense 2088, this removal of control is combined with a massive several-story high vault upwards and downwards without warning that left me feeling deeply ill. I will not be trying this on launch. Blobkin Blaster is a tower defense that takes place undersea this time, taking a Pikmin-like look at the genre. The sound wouldn't work on my headset, and despite a couple workarounds that I attempted to see if there was something I could do, unfortunately the game was dead silent. Outside of that, it plays very fluidly, though I'm nervous that the numbers of enemies were fairly overwhelming. And as this was a fairly short demo, it concerns me that more casual players will quickly find the pacing in the game and the visual aesthetics are at odds, in a way. My buildings seem barely capable of staying up, so because of that, I eventually just didn't even bother maintaining them. What use is a turret that can fire 3 times before breaking down? What use is a house for my Blobkins when I can't possibly track their numbers or how many have been eaten by fish, and they get destroyed immediately as well? Some room for improvement, but otherwise a very promising title that could be very fun. Ash of Legends is today's 3rd and final tower defense. It starts off seemingly rough with a wrist-mounted UI that I would call obtrusive at best. Ash of Legends frequently shows that the developer has a plethora of good ideas but simply lacks the ability to communicate them in a polished way. The grappling hook is interesting, but the function makes very little sense without some experimenting to find the intended use. The hovercraft was problematic at best, with me having successfully navigated to find an objective, but still having absolutely no idea how to control it. Enemies will telegraph a shooting path and fire projectiles at a completely different angle, making the line that they projected completely pointless. And the melee and gun combat I got to experience was low impact to say the least. When it comes to the building and tower defense part of the game, I was once again unable to experience a fundamental part of the game. In the case of Ash of Legends this time, however, it was simply because I could not for the life of me place down blocks in the building tutorial, and there's no way to progress past that point and into the game. Unfortunately, this means I'm not able to properly review the game, and what I saw otherwise showed that this game has potential despite its flaws, and it could be a very satisfying and fun game, but for now will remain a question mark that I may try out in the future with some development time and polish. 2076 is the only game today that isn't a tower defense. It's a shoot 'em up, or shmup as the fans of the genre call them. Shoot 'em ups are usually a hard pass for me, but 2076 manages to tackle the genre with a sense of humor and sense of ingenuity that genuinely blew me away. Taking on enemies from multiple angles was not only fun and challenging, but actually super immersive despite being for the most part a third-person game. The upgrades and controls are easy to figure out, with thumbstick control and motion controls available for your ship, and any controls for shields and interacting with the world as a player being on the right hand. 2076 is awesome, and I'll undoubtedly be grabbing this when it releases later this year. Alright guys, that's it for today's episode of Next Fest Review Sesh 2021. I'll be back tomorrow with another video, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know what you think of today's games. I hope your day doesn't suck.